Hi everyone, it's Katie with a couple announcements about my podcast, Staying Connected. First, I hope you enjoyed the video compilation I posted last week of the 44 episodes of Staying Connected that were conducted over the last 3 years, featuring people in this community sharing their stories with Veds. I really think this community is so beautiful, and I'm really eternally grateful for your willingness to share your stories with me and with Veds and raise awareness with me. The whole experience of talking to each of you who shared your stories on the podcast has been incredible to me, and I've been really deeply impacted by each of you. I started this podcast only about a year after my diagnosis with Veds, and I'm just amazed at how far we've come together as a community in the last few years. Now, if you watched the video last week, you probably noticed a sneak peek of the upcoming episode that will be released tomorrow, featuring our amazing Cathy Bowen, in memory of her son, David Daniel Bowen III. Cathy has been advocating for people with vascular Ehlers-Danlos syndrome for about 25 years, and I am so appreciative of everything she's done for people with Veds in honor of David. You can hear all about David's story, her family's story, and everything she's done in the full episode. That episode will be live on all major podcast players tomorrow, May 30th. You will also be able to find it on translucentone.blog. My next announcement is that this podcast will be taking a break over the next few months. I've been conducting these interviews and releasing them on a monthly schedule for about 3 years now, and I'm ready to transition to a seasonal schedule. I'm planning for 2 seasons a year, one in the fall and one in the spring, which brings me to this. If you have Veds, I would love to talk to you about your story on the podcast. If you have a child or a family member with Veds, I would love to talk to you about your story on the podcast. If you lost someone to Veds and you want to share their story, I would love to talk to you about their story on the podcast. Basically, if you've been impacted by Veds, either yourself or a family member, I want to help you share your story with Veds on the podcast and raise awareness, period. I will be conducting interviews for the upcoming fall season through June and July, which is right around the corner. It's really like 3 days away if you include today. So if you would like to share your story with Veds, reach out to me through my contact page on translucentone.blog. I'll leave a link to it in the description of this video. Now, this next part is also really important. I am moving over the summer, so conducting interviews later in the summer is going to be extremely difficult, really. So if you want to share your story, I need to hear from you soon so that I can talk to you about it and maybe schedule your interview by the end of July. I'm still in the process of deciding on this too, but I am playing around with the idea of recording videos of future interviews and uploading the footage here on this channel. But I think whatever I decide on that, I will be posting something here on this new playlist on my channel when new episodes are released. So you can expect this podcast to be back in the fall. I am really looking forward to talking with more of you about your stories and raising more awareness for Veds. And in the meantime, I will still be posting videos here, probably every other Saturday. I will try. But really, I am truly grateful to be part of such an amazing community. When I was diagnosed 4 years ago, I never imagined this is where we'd be today. I feel like we're a really strong, connected community. We have dedicated researchers. There's a global clinical trial for Veds right around the corner. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I will see you soon.